welcome into another episode of The Final Stretch here on MaxPreps.com. I'm Zack, Poff, and joining me here today is Steve Montoya taking off the warm-ups. How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going good. Thanks for having me. I heard you're talking a lot of football today, so I thought I'd boot our basketball guy out, Chris Stonebreaker, and talk a little NFL draft.
And of course, draft going down tomorrow night.
Yep.
32 guys will hear Roger Goodell call their names. And of course, that got us thinking, we got to go back and look at some of the best studs back in their high school days.
Always do.
It's the NFL. Yeah. What's the most important position? The quarterback. So let's go ahead and start off with one of the quarterbacks that should be taken in the first round, Blake Bortles. And of course, this guy was one of the best in Florida back at Oviedo High. The 6'4", 230-pounder back in high school threw for nearly 6,000 yards and over 50 touchdowns. What do you kind of expect for him at the next level?
Well, I mean, remembering him from high school, since that's what we kind of do here. Not kind of, that's what we do
Just
here
kind of, right?
at MaxPreps. Look back at the preps, and we saw him run in that clip there, but he's the pocket passer type compared to some of the other quarterbacks expected to go high. Our guy over at CBSSports.com, Pete Prisco, has him going as high as 6th overall via a trade, but I don't know. I'm more of a guy who can get out of the pocket and run. I do like Johnny Football ahead of him.
You gotta love Johnny Football.
But I don't think you're gonna go wrong. I think he's more of the safe play in this draft.
And you look at him, he's got the size. I mean, he's 6'4", 230 pounds. He's very athletic too. He can get out and run a little bit. As we saw in the BCS game they won last year over Baylor, I mean, he threw for over 300 yards and rushed for nearly another 100 with 4 TDs and route to be named the MVP and winning the first ever BCS game for UCF. I think Blake Bortles has a chance to be a solid quarterback. Might take a couple of years, but we'll go ahead and see. And sticking with quarterbacks, how about the former Northwestern star down in Miami, Florida, Teddy Bridgewater?
Yeah, I remember covering Teddy back in his days at Northwestern. We saw it then as a prep that he had potential. He decommitted from the U. Good choice, I assume. And in his mind, he threw for over 5,000 yards, 55 TDs. Obviously, he can run the ball. It seems like Teddy Bridgewater is another guy in the draft that's going to go in the first round.
And of course, Teddy Bridgewater, it seems like he's fallen a little bit in a lot of the recent mock drafts. But I think this is a guy, if you get later first round, this guy has a chance to pan out to be a good quarterback. I mean, he was put in such a tough spot at Northwestern. He had to replace Ja'Cory Harris, of course, went 30-0 his final 2 years, 2 state titles. And he had a remarkable career at Northwestern High. And he played very well at Louisville, helped win a BCS game over Florida in 2012. He's got, our boy Prisco has him going 26 overall to Cleveland, teaming up with Sammy Watkins. That'd be a nice wide receiver quarterback duo to kind of get things started for Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland would have one of the best receiving cores maybe in the league right there.
Yeah. I mean, throwing with Josh Gordon, that's nasty. And, of course, sticking with some of the top receivers at the college level and, of course, back in high school, you got to start with my guy, Marquise Lee, baby. Yeah,
Lee transferred over to Serra High School in Southern California, and it panned out. They did lose to Folsom in the state championship, but he was there. And when he went over to USC, our founder, Andy Beal, and USC fans like, not yourself, but USC fans were happy to get him.
Hey, I was happy too, man. Fight on, baby. I love myself some Marquise Lee, and he was an absolute stud at USC. I mean, the only receiver in USC history to win the Fred Blitnikoff Award. That's saying something. Guys like Lynn Swann, Keyshawn Johnson have come through USC. A big-time performer in Marquise Lee, of course, ended his USC career most receiving yards, 2nd in receptions, and 3rd in touchdowns. And the latest mock draft from Pete Prisco has him falling to the Niners at 30. You're a Niner fan. How do you feel about that?
I am a Niner fan with Crabtree, with Bolden, with Vernon Davis, and you throw in a little speed of Marquise Lee. Not bad.
I can tell you one guy to be happy would be Colin Kaepernick. I mean, you give him all of those weapons, especially here Richard Sherman just inked himself a nice 4-year deal, highest paid corner in the business now. So I know you're probably not too thrilled about that one.
Nope. More weapons, the better for the Niners. I'll take it.
And of course, talking about guys that don't get any love, we got to bring up probably the hottest offensive lineman in this year's draft. Greg Robinson, of course, was an absolute stud at Auburn, and of course, one of the best at Thibodeau out in Louisiana.
Yeah, he was a 2010 MaxPreps All-American first teamer his senior year, and for good reason, the big guy up front. Although we talk about quarterbacks, running backs a lot here on the show. If you're a quarterback or a running back, the only guys you really love are the guys up front. So if you're a quarterback or a running back and you're looking at maybe Greg Robinson coming to your team, you're pretty excited.
Yeah, I'd definitely be stoked. And of course, played 3 years at Auburn, redshirted his first year last year, all SEC first teamer, and of course helped lead them to the national championship game. And Prisco has him going second overall to the St. Louis Rams. I can tell you one guy that'd be happy is Sam Bradford, who's been injury prone pretty much his whole entire career. Would be very happy to see Greg Robinson come his way. Now switch things the other side of the rock. How about Anthony Barr? And it's kind of weird to see because at Loyola, he was one of the best high school running backs in the entire state of California.
Yeah, he sure was. He was one of the best two-way players in high school football, and he probably could have been that way at UCLA. And we'll see a lot of clips of him here running the ball. This is against De La Salle back in 2008. He was injury-prone in high school, but moving to the other side of the ball only pretty much at UCLA. Proved to be a wise choice, and he's a beast.
Yeah, absolute stud. I mean, Jim Mora Jr. knows what he's doing and turned Anthony Barr into one of the best linebackers in the country. The 6'5", 255-pound linebacker piled up 23 and a half sacks in 2 years, projected to go in the top 15. A lot of people have him going to the Tennessee Titans and the new head coach, Ken Whisenhunt, down there in Tennessee. The thing I love about Anthony Barr, though, he hasn't even come close to reaching his ceiling on the defensive side of the rock. Only played 2 years there at UCLA, so the sky is the limit for Anthony Barr.
Yeah, and what we've kind of seen looking back at linebackers when they played in high school, most of them were running backs. Lance Briggs of the Chicago Bears, tremendous running back, and on we can go. And
I know you could go hours and hours going off that list.
And for them, they know what a running back is thinking. Now playing the linebacker position, it only helps. So it'll be interesting to see Anthony Barr at the next level in the NFL, but we think the sky's the limit. And you can see right here from his prep days, also very, very good running back.
And sticking with talented defensive players, I got to give some love to my boy from the 707, Dayon Buchanan. Of course, an absolute stud back in his days in the Solano County Athletic Conference at Vanden High School. And this kid was an absolute monster, had nearly 300 tackles, had 7 sacks, 5 interceptions, and had numerous awards in the Sac Joaquin section and in the SCAC.
Yeah, he was a Sac Joaquin section all-league player, defensive player of the year in his league in the Sacramento area. He's going to be another playmaker in the NFL, and I know guys like yourself and people from the 707, they're going to be rooting him on. We'll see if he goes round 1 or maybe round 2.
Yeah, it's looking like he's probably going to be a second-day guy going in early kind of round 3 or maybe late second round. But a guy like Tyrann Mathieu, same thing happened with him last year. And, of course, look at what he did last year for the Arizona Cardinals. And, of course, Dayon Buchanan, All-American last year, Washington State, and was a first-team Pac-12 defensive player, led the Pac-12 with 6 INTs and over 100 tackles. And, of course, big-time tournament going down in California this weekend at the University of Pacific. Probably really the national championship in the state of California going down in the Boras Classic. And, of course, Elk Grove and Temecula Valley met up. Bragging rights, SoCal versus NorCal.
Yep, that's right.
And you get a look right there in the bottom of the first. Elk Grove stud Derek Hill skies this one to right. And check out the cannon. A.J. Sawyer shows off. Tag applied. Gun down. Inning-ending double play. And you get a look right there at the lefty, Chris Martin. This kid was absolutely filthy. Drew Seaman, see ya. Weak chopper, Martin, nice play. 3 scoreless innings for Martin, lowering his season ERA to 0.85. And a 5th inning.
It's like a NorCal Giants, SoCal Dodgers. And NorCal usually comes up.
Oh, whoa. Back it up
We'll see that this weekend.
And, of course, I hope it doesn't go the way it did here. NorCal really put it on. Here's Temecula Valley. Was cruising, but in the 5th, Burke Mitchell started getting rocked a little bit. And you get a look at Dylan Carlson right there, lacing a 2-run single, giving the Thunder and Herd a 3-1 lead. And this is really when things started to fall off for Temecula Valley. This one smoked down the left field line. Caleb Harmon joined the 2-out rally, roping that double to plate 2. 6-run 5th inning for Elk Grove. Scored 5 of those 6 in that inning with 2 down. And hopefully starting tomorrow, Southern California will start to take back that rain.
I don't think so, but if you're an Elk Grove fan right now, you are liking your chances heading into the playoffs here coming up. They've rolled off about 16 wins in a row. They keep creeping up the MaxPreps Excellent 50 rankings. If you're in the Sacramento area, playoffs are starting. You start to see Elk Grove potentially in your bracket. Watch out, because the Thundering Herd, they're on fire right now.
And of course, as you saw Derek Hill right there make that final put out, this kid an absolute stud. And a lot of MLB scouts have him going within the first couple of rounds in this year's amateur draft. So if you get a chance, go check out that star center fielder for Elk Grove.
Yeah, and shout out to our producer, Scott Hargrove, for the footage. I know he likes to get a shout out. So, Scott,
I was surprised we didn't hear him in our ear telling us, hey, where's my shout out, guys?
Oh,
and
there it was.
And of course, we got to take a look at something crazy that went down last week. So let's go ahead and head out to Northview High out in Sylvania, Ohio for some donkey hoops.
Yeah, and there's some controversy over this, but really what it comes down to, and we're not going to get our opinions on this, is
nobody cares about that, right?
No, nobody cares about our opinions. The school was trying to fundraise for some things, and this is how they do it. You got a little crowd there, and this isn't the first school that's done these donkey basketball
donkey
events.
hoops,
yeah.
Donkey balling. And of course, it's crazy. I didn't really know about this. I did a little bit of research. This has been kind of going on since like 1930. I mean, a lot of schools have been doing this for fundraisers and stuff like that. And of course, Ohio joins about 6 states that have already done it here in the last few weeks. And something else I've never seen. Check out what Manville's Gary Haynes does here. And I got one question for you, partner. Real or fake?
Man, I want to say it's real, but I don't know.
The footage looks, legit.
Yeah, it does look legit.
He doesn't leave the picture and come back. I don't know. That's tough to do, though. That's a good, 35, 40-yard pass?
Yeah, and we know that he is a legit recruit, and he's definitely fast. But we should do a follow-up on this and see if we can get a video guy out there ourselves to try to prove it. Because I know there's a lot of people on social media, and this got shared a lot, that are saying, hey, this is completely fake. So it'd be good to actually hear from him and maybe even get out there and check it out. So something to look into.
And of course, just go to MaxPreps.com, check out Manville. Got a highlight tape of that 3-star recruit. That dude is an absolute stud, absolute beast on the field. He throws some of the nastiest spin moves I have ever seen, kind of Barry Sanders-esque moves. And of course, before we wrap up today's show, we got to take a look at the top play from last week's user videos. And with that, let's go ahead and head out to good old Texas.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Check out Cinco Ranch's Trent Bowles up with the bases loaded, 2 down, 7th, down by 2 runs.
Gotta
slow-mo.
love the music. Gotta love the music.
Boom! See you later. Yeah. I was hoping for the Kirk Gibson fist pump right here, round and first. Didn't get it.
Close.
But you gotta love the reaction here. I mean, this is why I love high school sports, man. Look at the juice. These kids are flowing in, just celebrating like crazy. And of course, it was in the bi-district playoff matchup. Moving on to the next round, capped off a 4-for-5 afternoon, 1 bomb, 3 doubles. I know you don't see that too often from San Francisco Giants, so.
Hey, they have the most home runs in the National League. So anyway, to hit a walk-off home run in a playoff game, that's a memory that's going to...
And down to the final strike, too,
I mean, that's going to live with him for the rest of his life. What a way to win a game. And Zack, heading back to the NFL draft stuff tomorrow, it starts going down. We will have a lot of content on the site from these guys as prep players, from video to cool info about how many players have come from certain high schools to cool photos. So join us all the way through the NFL draft to look back as prep players, what we like to do here.
Of course. And of course, if you want to upload your top plays, hit us up, maxpreps.com. Send us a tweet at MaxPreps, and we will get your video up. Top 10 user videos uploaded every Friday. So go ahead, send us a tweet, hit us up. That's all the time we got for you here today. For Steve Montoya, I'm Zack Poff. Thanks for checking us out here at MaxPreps.com, America's source for high school sports.